Well, look who's here. Welcome, everybody, to the loneliest night of the week. Welcome to Lonely Friday Night, and welcome to Sam Roberts Now. Yes, the loneliest show on all of the internet, Sam Roberts Now. And because the question, I just heard your mic, the question is always out there. Is he, isn't he? Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if he is or isn't, but he is here, hot dog.
What's the confusion, Sam?
Well, I don't know that there's that much confusion, to tell you the truth. Welcome. How are we?
Good. I already reached my New Year's resolution.
Which is what? Have strange women randomly in your bed?
Yes, I found my wife right over here.
Oh, I forgot that was your New Year's resolution. Yes. You're starting a family.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah, we're working. We're hoping.
I got you. You got the beautiful one-bedroom setup where we can work and still have a family balance. That's really good.
Kids running around. That's great.
That's what we're seeing right in front of us is the work-life balance acting itself out. Well, that's beautiful, hot dog, and congratulations on starting your family. That's awesome. You. That's fantastic. Look, we've got a lot to talk about this evening. Of course, you know the rules of Sam Roberts Now. Every super chat will get acknowledged, and we will acknowledge all super chats. But I don't know if you've heard what's going on in Miami right now, hot dog. Do you know about what's going on in Miami?
No.
Shadow.
Florida, so not good.
Not good. Shadow aliens.
Huh?
They're gonna have to update GTA 5 or 6 or whatever it is. Shadow aliens have invaded Miami.
I don't know what that is.
Well, they're 8 to 10 feet tall. They're not born on Earth. They look like shadows. And they're at the mall in Miami. So, shadow aliens.
Should I be afraid?
How tall are you?
I'm 5. 4.5. I think sometimes 5'5" on a good day.
5'5", maybe, and there's 8 to 10 foot shadow aliens. Yeah, you should be pretty scared, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, right. They're twice. It's like if you had another hot dog sitting on your shoulders, they'd still be towering over you. Plus, be all shadowy.
I was gonna say that doesn't make sense because 5 and 5 plus 5'5", but
no, but he's sitting on your shoulders. That's why I
would have to be standing on the shoulders.
No, I didn't say standing on. I said specifically sitting on. So you're cutting off at least. You're talking torso, and I mean, at 5'5", let's be honest, at least 4'8" of that is leg.
Right.
You got one of those tiny little torsos.
We're gonna need 3 hot dogs.
That's right. That's right. To try to combat these shadow aliens. Yeah, it's all over Twitter and stuff. That's yours. Yeah, see, now this footage, right? You see all these cops. And you get, well, that's Miami. That's why they're speaking Spanish, yeah. But you see, like, all these cops, and everybody said, you mean to tell me that all those cops are there and no one knows why? And then, of course, shadow aliens, because somebody slowed down the video, and in one frame, you can see here, it's blurry, unfortunately, but you can totally see there's 8 to 10 foot shadow aliens walking in front of the mall. Okay, and
you clearly see that?
Quite clearly.
You can clearly see that.
I'm having a lot of trouble coming to terms with this could be anything besides shadow aliens. To me, I'm pretty much sold on shadow aliens. And that's because I was looking at it and going like, that is a lot of cops to be at the mall. Like, what could require that many cops? Shadow aliens. And it's like, yes, if a mall were to be invaded by shadow aliens, definitely that many police would show up. Because I saw that movie Independence Day with Will Smith, and it was like all the police in town.
Right. Yeah. There's no one staying back at the office. At the precinct.
No, I'm doing speed. I'm doing speed tickets. I can't worry about the shadow aliens.
I mean,
right? What else could it be? So
I'm trying to think of any plausible explanation for this, but I think you're right, Sam. What else do we got here?
Well, the lame stream has tried to explain it. Okay, and they've put up those like things on the bottom of tweets that go like, "This is not true. These are fake rumors."
The community notes,
Quote
those
unquote.
marks.
Exactly. They say that this footage is actually because some kids got into a fight on New Year's Day and they brought fireworks. And so there was shots fired, quote unquote. So the cops responded to it, but since there were no actual shots fired, just fireworks, it wasn't that big of a story. But I tend not to buy that.
No, a likely excuse.
That's probably, honestly, that's what I would say if I was trying to cover up shadow aliens.
Has Alex Jones got in on this business yet? Is he?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm anxious to hear what he has to say.
I would need him for some confirmation.
Yeah, for some kind of, because then I saw that there was a close-up video of one, and this isn't everywhere yet, but I will. I mean, should we just? I don't know if it's YouTube's terms of service. Should we just leak it?
Careful now. They might demonetize you.
I mean, I've got the close-up, and the people aren't going to be happy. But should we expose the truth?
You should expose it. Katt Williams said 2024. Don't let a lie get in the way of the truth. So
I think that's a paraphrase. I don't think that was his quote at all. He's much more better with his words. I mean, if there's no such thing as shadow aliens, and they're not 8 to 10 feet tall, and they're not invading Miami, explain this. I mean, come on.
What?
It's a shadow
alien. What am I
alien.
looking at?
And they want you to believe that this is Madonna on her latest tour, but it's clearly a shadow alien in Miami. I mean, what else could it be?
That's gross.
What is that? Wow. I mean, they have a whole. I'm sure that their species would think that we're gross.
Yeah, it's like a mating ritual for. She's looking for another shadow alien.
It could be. It could be. I mean, look. Luckily, the shadow alien looks happy. She's smiling. So hopefully, maybe they just mean for us to have a good time. Maybe they're just here for the party.
Entertain, actually.
Maybe they just don't think we party enough, and they just want us to party. And then it would make sense why they went to Miami to be shadow aliens instead of some other place. Because, I mean, where are there better parties than Miami? Nowhere.
They're looking for Pitbull.
Exactly.
Somewhere over there.
Dale. By the way, Pitbull would probably be like, no, yeah, for sure, they're shadow aliens. He would tell you.
Like it. On his Bud Light commercial where he's doing that dance and there's a bunch of shadow aliens in the back.
They're right there doing this, doing this exact thing. So look, we will stay up to date on the shadow aliens.
Oh, God, thank God.
We'll try to inform you on what's going on, but I'll be watching very, very closely. But there are other things. There are bigger fish to fry here on Sam Roberts Now, and I appreciate you guys all hanging out tonight because, and I think I know why so many of you are hanging out tonight.
Because we're lonely?
No. Because Hot Dog, you and I, we're famous.
Oh, I heard about this.
Let me get you. I got to warm up these pipes because the sound bite machine is going to give you another one. Watch this. Ready? The second season of a docuseries called The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. They're gonna use that.
Oh, it's really good.
They're gonna use that.
I thought a little bit of cringe. That was really, I mean,
good.
Just cut that out.
Yep.
Clips guy.
That's yours.
You know what to do, and send that off to.
That's yours, Max. We need to do a season 3 of Natalia Grace. Get us in there at the top, right at the top.
You should see the soundbite on this guy.
Man, I love being in the first 5 minutes of the second series of docuseries. Because I told you, the thing with the second season of Tiger King, terrible. Luckily, I was in the first 5 minutes, so before people realized it was terrible and turned off, they saw it. Second season of Making a Murderer, I was not in that one. Terrible. You
didn't have a good soundbite for it. That was on you.
I know that one was on me, and I learned, and I'm better now. But and so after Making a Murderer and after Tiger King, I was ready to turn on The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, throw myself a little party for them using our soundbite, and then kind of turn it off when I lost interest. I'm on episode 3. I have yet to lose interest. This thing is so great still. It is absolutely incredible. They got all the key players back, plus Natalia Grace and her family that fit right in to the oddest cast of characters that have ever existed on one of these docuseries. It is unbelievable. There's not one boring person in this whole series. Everybody in there is just weird and an insane character, all for different reasons. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, she wasn't in the first season, right? They didn't have her as a talking head.
Well,
this is the only way you can up it.
That's why. That's why this one actually is needed, because now she's telling her story. Because remember, the first season, Natalia Grace is, of course, the person. Was she? She wasn't. Where was she from? She Ukrainian? I don't know. Romanian?
Born in
She's Eastern European.
Ukrainian.
Yeah. Okay. So she's She's Ukrainian, has a dwarfism, adopted as a kid. All of a sudden, her parents go, she is not a kid. She's a scam artist. She's an adult. You ever see that movie Orphan? It's happening in our house. And
Which one came first, by the way?
I'm glad you asked. The movie came first.
Wow. Oh, what did that? Okay.
Nope. The movie came first, and this came up because of all the news stories that came out about this show. You know what I mean? And even the reason they made a whole docuseries is because there were so many news stories about the case happening. It was so odd. You know, it was just, they aged her up. They changed, they added like 10 years or something to her birth year so they could move her out into her own apartment.
He went to a judge, right?
Yes. Yeah. And the court said, no, she was born in 1989. And she was like, what? And they were like, all right, enjoy your own apartment. We will see you later. And she's like, I'm 8. And they're like, no, you're not. See you later. What? I think I'm 8. No. You've got pubes. See you later.
Can't even tie my shoes.
Nope. You threatened us with a knife. Goodbye. First episode. They go like this. Well, why did they say you were just like the movie Orphan? And she goes, they were lying. They just saw the movie Orphan. And I was like, oh.
That's an easy explanation.
I was like, yeah, you know, when you put it like that, I'm surprised I didn't think of that sooner. Well, why would they say that you are just like that movie Orphan? Because they just saw that movie Orphan.
They stole it, bar for bar.
Word for word, bar for bar. Oh, okay. I mean, dude, this thing, like, the whole first episode, and I'm only 3 episodes deep into the second season. Six total.
All right, 6 hours.
The first episode is great because what they do is they really lay it out there. Like, now there's no sort of, I wonder. They've clearly taken the position. This was a child who was moved into an apartment. This was a child who had physical special needs, a child with dwarfism that was just moved into an apartment and left. And they go, well, she took care of herself so poorly. And it's like, right, because she was an 8-year-old dwarf. Like, what do you think is going to happen? She's showing up. Go ahead.
Remind me, were they paying for her? They were paying for her apartment, right?
Yeah, but 8-year-olds can't live by themselves.
I'm just saying.
Yes, they were paying for her, but 8-year-olds can't live by themselves, especially when they have dwarfism and they need special shoes.
No, yeah, I get that, but I'm just like thinking back, if I was 8 years old and my parents were like, good news, we're gonna get you an apartment, I'd be like, oh, this is lit as fuck.
They accused her of like being creepy with the kids in the neighborhood of the apartment that she owned because she was playing with them like kids do because she was a kid. Like the stuff, they go like, okay, so we went to her dentist. This is like episode 1. First she goes like, yeah, they just saw the movie Orphan and started lying. And I was like, huh, well, if they're liars, which she says they are, and they just saw that movie Orphan, all right, I guess that story does kind of check the boxes, doesn't it?
It kind of crumbles everything.
Huh, maybe she's onto something. And then they're like, the family dentist, right? They said this. Natalia Grace goes, I'm sitting at the dinner table and my tooth falls out, you know, because I'm like 7 years old. And that's what happens to a 7-year-old. And my mom, Christine, and let me tell you something, Christine does not take part in this doc. And she does not come across well. Not at all. So she goes, Christine, my tooth comes out. And Christine goes, why are you pulling your teeth out at the table? Why are you pulling your teeth out? What are you, nuts? And Natalia Grace goes, I'm not pulling my teeth out. My tooth fell out. I'm not pulling them out. And then Christine, the mom, goes, yeah, but I saw the root on it. And she goes, there's no root. It's a baby tooth. There's no root on this tooth. And then she goes, yes, there was. No, there wasn't.
I mean, she was already sold that she was arguing with a 20-year-old woman. So.
Yeah, yes, there was. And she takes her to the dentist, right? So they go to the family dentist, right? The doc crew goes to the family dentist. And the family dentist pulls out the x-rays. Now, this family dentist is a wildcat himself because he's got the worst hairpiece that you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
Like, he's got this, like, blonde hairpiece on top of clearly, like, Dr. Phil gray horseshoe hair. It's crazy. The guy is a dentist. He looks at, like, cosmetics as part of it. You would think with all the detail that goes into teeth, he would look in the mirror and go, this hairpiece is nuts.
Look, he has one specialty, and hair is not a part of it.
No, it's nuts, right? But he pulls out the dentist. He goes, yeah, Christine came in here and goes, she's 20. And I go, well, she was carrying on very adult conversation. She was a good conversationalist. So I go, maybe she's an adult. Maybe she's 9, 8 years old. So we did an x-ray of her mouth, or 7 years old, whatever. We did an x-ray of her mouth, and he pulls out the x-ray. And you know what you see on the x-ray? All these baby teeth with grown-up teeth under them that haven't grown in yet. You see them right there. It's like a child.
That doesn't happen to 20-year-olds.
No, of course not.
It'd be very scary if that happened to a 20-year-old.
Yeah, and he goes, as it turns out, she's like 7 or 8 years old. And Christine comes away from that appointment telling everybody. So the dentist, we talked to her. The dentist said she's an adult. And so she just goes like, never mind you. I'm just going to keep saying what I was saying before. And then the doc crew goes, Christine went to the court and had her aged up. And the doctor goes, really? He had no idea. He hadn't heard the story at all. The dentist goes, really? And they go, yeah, the court said that she was born in 1989. And the dentist goes, well, they really aged her up. That was a lot. Yeah, no, like first of all, he hadn't heard the story at all, which is...
It's very weird. The season 1 was already out.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Season 1 was definitely already out because I'm going to tell you something right now.
That's kind of suspicious.
When I got the email, like when I signed the release to use the clip from this show, it was not very long ago. So it's not like this thing was years and years old. It's not like they had season 2 in the can after season 1 came out. Like,
right.
It was not long ago that I signed that release. So we're going like, okay, we're now seeing her x-rays, which also made me go, why didn't you show me those x-rays in season 1? Like, that would have kind of cleared everything up.
They were plotting. They were like, we need to get Natalia Grace in season 2, but that can't be the only thing. There needs to be some meat left on this bone.
Right. And then the doc crew, they asked Natalia Grace, they go, well, what about the pubes in the bathtub? She was like, she goes like this. That never happened. She's like, that was a thing that didn't happen. They just said it happened. But the reason there's no evidence of that ever being a thing is because it didn't happen. And they're like, oh.
So wait, remind me, is the mom in jail for all of this?
No.
Like what?
No, she's just living. She's trying to live that life. No, she's good.
Ow!
Because she's
Isn't
like,
that
no.
just like child abandonment?
No, because she goes, because the court said she was born in 1989.
Okay, well, yeah, right.
And you're like but then the dentist with the hairpiece is going like, what do you mean? And then so the first episode is like, Natalia was a kid. Then episode 2 is Christine, the mom, was a monster. And they spend the whole episode just creating motives for the mom and why she did it. Like the fact that like she was portraying herself as a mother of a child with special needs and this great mother, and she was doing this, and she wanted to write a book because the idea was, remember the brother that lived in the basement?
Vaguely.
Right. So he was like a math genius. And so she made a bunch of money off of him being a math genius. She wrote a book about him being a math genius. She didn't share any of the money with the husband or the son. She was just like, this is all my money.
I wrote this book.
I wrote this book. And the son who lives in the basement is literally like, I mean, I'm on the cover of the book. I would think I would have gotten something, but he didn't get anything.
Should have written an autobiography then.
That's right. Don't let other people write your books. So she, I guess, wanted to write a book about Natalia Grace being a genius. But then they go to all the teachers, right? And they go, Natalia Grace, she was in first grade here, right? And they go, yup. And they go, you think she should have been in first grade? And they go, I mean, I don't know. She might have been able to handle maybe like second grade, maybe. And they're like, but do you think she was a full-grown adult? And they're like, what? No, she's first grader.
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, they were like, absolutely not. Right? So everybody's like, no, of course not. And then, of course, they bring back my man Michael. You remember,
Pops, right?
You remember Michael. You remember Pops.
Yeah.
Pops is sitting here, except now he's got mutton chops. He was like, he saw himself in the first season. He was like, you know what I need?
I'm gonna hit him with something different.
I need to hit him with some mutton chops and a big, thick goatee, right? So he's sitting there with his mutton chops and big, thick goatee. And they go, okay, we're going to have the two of you in a room together. Now, apparently, there's more than one meeting. This one goes awry because there are clips of them having other meetings further along in the season, which I'll watch maybe tonight. But Natalia is there with her new parents because you remember Natalia gets aged up and moved out into an apartment. She gets evicted. Right. And then she gets evicted from that apartment because she's not a good tenant. And I think looking back, one of the reasons is because she was 8 and had physical needs, right? So
I mean, how long are you going to use that excuse for?
At least 10 years because you've got a decade until you're actually an adult.
Oh,
you see?
Yeah, that adds up.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they moved her into the ghetto, into like a third story walk up. And the reason that we know it's the ghetto is because at one point in the doc, Natalia Grace and her new mother are sitting on the stoop talking about how difficult it was for Natalia to live there by herself because she was 8 or 9 years old. And while they're doing this interview, gunshots start going off from 2 blocks away. And they ask the director if they could please just do the interview elsewhere because somebody's shooting a gun.
No. Keep rolling.
Unfortunately, we can't. We can't.
Yeah, sound on that.
So Natalia ended up getting like adopted or whatever. She lives with this woman who loves adopting kids. She's
adults.
Like the Angelina Jolie of the ghetto. Okay, loves adopting kids, and her husband is this like church minister guy. So now the climax builds up, and Natalia and Michael are going to be in the same room together for the first time.
Ooh.
And Michael's brought some church guy, and Natalia brings her dad, the person she calls dad now, which is the dad after this dad. And Natalia and Michael are sitting there, right? Michael's their father that was there when she was being horribly abused, because they also show how abused she was, right? And we know from the first season she was, physically abused. She had to, go to the bathroom on herself, all this stuff. Well, we find out now that Christine used a pepper spray for discipline. Her mother pepper sprayed her to discipline her. Pepper spray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you use on criminals. Who are attacking you.
Yes.
Or 8-year-olds. They're behaving bad.
8-year-olds that could be 18, depending on the court.
Being very naughty.
So, and he was there the whole time, So they're sitting in the same room together, finally. And he goes, hi. Like, hey,
what's going on?
Hi. Like, just 2 adults that are like, yeah, I guess we're just doing this thing. Not like, hey, yeah, you were the father in the house of horrors I grew up in that aged me up. There's all these.
Same interaction as me and my dad in DR.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi. What's coming on? Yeah. Can you just drive me and Annie over here? Yeah.
They have all these texts that they show on the screen of him talking to his wife at the time. They're split up now, going like, I can't wait to get Natalia out of here. Like, it's going to be so great when she's out of here. They're sitting together. Hi.
But, and
they start. It's my favorite moment so far. They start, right? They start their conversation together. And Natalia looks at him and she goes, Michael, why are we here? Michael goes, That's a big question. Why are we here? That might actually be a better question for the church man. Why are we here? And she's like, no, why are you here with me in this room? Why did you adopt me?
What led to this moment?
Like, he acted like it was like the metaphysical, like, like she's asking, what's the meaning of life? Why are we here?
I don't know. They picked this room. I told them to pick the one in the corner.
Yeah. And then
there's a window view.
And then he's got this clearly rehearsed monologue to answer her questions. She goes, why did you adopt me from the beginning? And he goes, this is all in episode 2, so it's not even major spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, he probably saw that question coming.
And he goes like this. A lot of these questions aren't going to have simple answers. But, and this is like, that's the thing that you say when you're just going to monologue whatever you want to monologue. Like I'm going to disregard your question and make my statement now.
What's it called when politicians just keep talking and talking and talking?
Right. When they're
filibustering.
They're filibustering. No, that's the transition to, I have a monologue, but it's not directly related to your question. But I'd like to do the monologue anyway. He goes, they're not going to have easy answers. We had the same monster.
Oh.
You and I had the same monster.
Oh.
And he immediately goes into this weird, manipulative, abusive, like, you and I have a common enemy. So let's not even talk about my part in your abuse. Let's talk about the lady that's not here. We both hate her. So let's talk about that bitch, huh?
Because I agree. When she pepper sprayed you and you were 8, I was like, yo, you're wilding right now.
That's what
crazy.
I said, you're wilding. I said that. I said it. And I guess he curses, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she starts the interview by saying, can we please just not cuss? And he goes, I don't know. I'm going to try, but
He starts the interview saying that?
She
Why?
asked him not to cuss. Don't cuss.
She doesn't like cusses?
She lives with a church man.
Oh, right.
And so the church dad, who's weird himself, interrupts the sit down to go, can we just respect this room and not use language? Can we just respect this room and not curse? That's it. You know what? That's it. And he starts taking off his mic. No. That's it. I tried. I can't. And he starts like storming off like he's this victim of this like, I tried. I can't put up with this. And then this other guy that I don't even know who he is. He's just there in the room, starts yelling. He's also a church guy, but he starts yelling at the other church guy going, you can't hold him to your morals. You can't make the... So these two unrelated guys are arguing. Natalia Grace, this person, is just sitting there trying to deal with the fact that she had maybe the most traumatic childhood of all time. And it's just like, huh?
It's not about her anymore.
No, because the two church guys are arguing with each other because it's about them. And Michael is just, I have to go because I tried and I can't do this.
Is there anything more dramatic than someone getting up and taking off their lav mic?
It's great. He's got his hand all the way up his shirt.
And then you hear...
Oh, yeah. And he is flailing. Like, he is moving all about. And he storms out. No, I can't. I tried. But I am a victim, too.
It's got main character syndrome.
I mean, it's so wild. He gets in his car. He screeches away. Like,
he was probably expecting like a cameraman to chase him. He was probably looking as he was driving away. He was like looking behind him.
Oh yeah, there was
like
no
camera guy.
There was no other way this was going. But it's thematic, like him blaming Christine because he knows that Christine is not there. Because then, remember in season 1, there's the nosy neighbor. Remember they interview the nosy neighbor who like doesn't actually add any firsthand information, but he's going like, I saw her. I didn't like her from the beginning. I saw blah blah blah. So they have...
It's like color commentary. She's adding color.
I mean, I guess. They have Natalia talk to her. And she's like, I used to play at your house. I know. Christine told me you put thumbtacks on the steps so that people would step on them. And she's like, you saw me in your house. I never did that. No, you didn't do that in my house. And she's like, why didn't you just believe me? And she goes, I should have. It was Christine. It was Christine. And you're just like,
what is this death grip that she had? I mean, it looks like everything that all the claims that were thrown out in the first.
I mean, look, the answer is, why didn't you just believe me? Because you were like 8, and this was an adult that was lying to everybody. I thought she wasn't lying to everybody. It's an okay thing to say.
But adults don't lie. Kids lie all the time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If a kid is like, everything that adult is saying is not true, and the adult is like, you have to forgive her. She's a sociopath. Then it's almost like, the kid's a sociopath, I guess. Like, it's a good lesson. You shouldn't always do that. Because sometimes that's not the case.
I mean, she has to go to jail.
The mom does, yeah. I mean, Michael should too. Michael should too. Michael was there the whole time.
Yeah.
He's more of a
coward.
I was in jail. I was in jail just being with Christine.
It was just as bad for me as it was for you.
That's his whole bit. That's his whole bit. You and I, we're the same. We're the same.
We're both victims.
Yeah. And she's like, what? Like, they have all kinds of stuff. They have blood work done on her. They're like, no, yeah, you're like 20 now. Like, you weren't then. She's like, yeah, that's why.
You went into that room thinking like this was like, oh, me and Natalia are going to be able to tell our story.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he decided to do. And then low key, my favorite character in this thing, and she popped up at the end of the first season, but she's throughout this second season, is the blonde-haired lady lawyer. Because this lawyer, it's like she wants to be Sammy Soundbites. Everything that she says in a soundbite, except it's the type of soundbite that you use to throw to break. Yeah. Like those of us in the documentary soundbite industry know that you go like, and you might see this on A&E coming up. If you go, they thought the rivalry was going to be over, but they hadn't even started yet. That's a throw to break soundbite. You know what I mean? That's
should I pick that from the top?
Yeah.
I can give you a better one.
What do you want me? What syllable should I be emphasizing here? But like everything that she says, everyone else in the thing, they're talking to the person interviewing them, but she is clearly like processing the question and going, Michael said from the beginning that he was abused, but I didn't buy it, and neither did a lot of people. And you're like, that nobody talks like that. And she does it every single episode, every single soundbite.
The producer's like, can you not look into the camera, please? You can talk to me.
Like, ask me, did Christine have anything to gain by making up this story about Natalia?
Did Christina have anything to gain about making up this story?
Christine had more to gain than you can even imagine, both financial and from her pride.
Oh, we could use that.
You're just like, why are you talking like that? Everything she says. Yeah. But it's like, because she's in the episodes multiple times every episode, but everything she says is said exactly like that.
Producer's like, oh, this is such good shit.
Yeah.
It's great.
They convinced that girl that she was an adult the whole time she was a child. And you're like, what?
Oh, it worked out for her.
I mean, but it's so distracting. Everybody in this thing is some kind of nuts. Everyone. I've never seen anything like it, where the whole cast of characters is like, I want to follow any of these people on just a normal day of their existence and just see what it's like. All of them.
And buried underneath all this is the actual victim.
Natalia, who's sitting there, and they air an old video of Michael, right? Because they said she had her period. So they knew she's menstruating. So she's like, she's not a kid. She got her period. And there's an old video of Michael. And Michael goes, she told us she had been having her period. And I said, well, how have you been having it if you haven't had any tampons? And she said she had been going to the bathroom and she'd been using toilet paper. And I said, well, what happened to the toilet paper? And she said that she ate it.
What?
And then they go to Natalia and ask her, and she confirms that's also a lie. She did not eat her period.
Okay, so we got two liars here.
You think that? Yeah. He's for sure.
Okay, I thought he was just like trying to distance himself.
No, he's trying to distance it. Like now, he's like, oh, that was all that crazy Christine. Like I was also
right.
But like he was on board with it the whole time. He was like, yeah, she's just over here being 18 years old eating periods. And Natalia Grace is like, there was no evidence of a period because I was 8. Like I was a small child. That wouldn't have happened. I don't know.
So
and then you go, well, why wasn't she on season 1? And the reason for that is because these are the types of questions. Can you imagine him to go on television and being like, just for the record, you used to eat your period? She's like, what? No, I didn't. No, I didn't do that. These are clearly
Sam,
lies.
Did you eat your dog's shit? Did you eat Lila's shit?
No. What did that guy said? I ate my dog's feces.
Hot dog was in the house a lot, and he said he saw that.
Sam used to eat his dog's shit all the time. And I'm like, why does everybody believe that? Why did they just go? He said it.
Why would he lie about that? Why would he lie about that?
That sounds believable to me. I'd seen Orphan.
Well, you know what's funny is if I did start that rumor, people would believe it.
They'd believe it. They'd go.
They'd be like, why? Like, there's no reason for him to.
Here's what they'd say. They go, I know why Sam's yelling at Hot Dog so much. Because Hot Dog knows he eats dog shit. I mean, this poor woman. Girl.
Yeah,
it's just sitting there going like, you know, these things are clearly not true. Obviously, right? And everybody is like, oh, I guess they're not true. Oh.
We didn't think of the possibility that all of this was just lies.
They go like this. She goes, because in the whole first part of the whole first season, this guy goes, it was a closed adoption. We never met the couple that had Natalia before us. And she goes, what? They met in the same room, and then I saw them at Disney World when we went. Of course they knew each other. Like they took me, they gave me to her. And there's implications that there may have been cash exchanged.
So then the question again that I have is, why even bother adopting this kid if you're just gonna put her through hell?
The plan originally was to like profit off of it, to be these like influencer mom who had this special needs kid that was this great mom, and then also so she could make money off of her. Yeah. But she was like, number one, she's very expensive because of all the surgery she's gonna need and everything. Number two, she's not a genius, so there's no real book there. And number three, it's just too much for us. And also, she's not responding to the pepper spray well.
No.
You know?
She keeps getting more upset. She's more agitated the more I do it.
And I just got pepper spray her more. And I don't, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to, like, pay for all these surgeries and the pepper sprays? I can't keep
the beatings will continue until morale is up.
Yeah, right. And she's like, well, the morale's not going to go up. And she's like, well, we're at a rock and a hard place then. I'm just going to have you aged up. Well, you got to get out of here. You got to move out. I mean, it's pretty wild. It's a pretty wild story.
Tell you what, I'll at least check out the first 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes is lit. It's incredible. I can't, and I mean, dude, there's a lot of people watching. Like, we're literally in for 4 seconds. So many people have reached out. A WWE superstar just hit me up this afternoon. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but
nice.
It's Finn Balor. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to say who it was.
May or may not be Finn Balor.
Might or might not be.
Can't confirm.
Can't confirm that it was or wasn't Finn Balor. So yeah.
Is your WWE rate going to go up after this?
Yes. I'm the Doc King now. I'm the Doc King. And also, I got to make sure that we cover every hot topic now. Because Sam Roberts Now is no longer a show where it's like, oh, we're going to make this a big show or something like that. This is a soundbite factory. Like, we're just going to make TikTok videos that doc producers and, hashtag them so that they can find them and then go, hey, can we use your clip in the sequel? And I'm like, yes, of course you can, for a price.
Just a bunch of junk in between, but a lot of sound bites in the beginning.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, look. We got to get through the Natalia Grace doc quick because we got the Gypsy Rose doc coming. You know about Gypsy Rose?
I forgot about the story. I think you mentioned it last week, right? Or New Year's, you might have mentioned it.
Oh, wait. Hang on. This Gypsy Rose story is wild. Okay, go on. What were you saying?
Lansing.
Yeah. What were you saying?
So like literally, I looked up I looked up the GMA interview. She just did, I don't know if she just did one, but she did one with GMA talking about her release and all that stuff, and it was very, very strange.
Well, so Gypsy Rose, there's a docu-series about her on HBO, so you can watch that at the same time as you watch the Natalia Grace one. And there's also a Hulu series. It's like a drama, series. We talked about it a little bit on the Satisfying podcast, but long story short, Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Her mother convinced her and the rest of the world that she was sick, had cancer, shaved her head, surgeries, feeding tube, wheelchair, had her salivary glands removed.
What does that mean?
The glands that produce saliva.
You can do that? What?
The mom brought her in for a surgery because she numbed her lips, so it made her drool, and then told the doctors that she needed that done, and the doctors took them suckers right out.
Yes.
I mean, she had a lot, and then there was physical abuse, emotional abuse. It got very, very bad, especially as she started to find out that she was being abused. But she was living in this crazy bubble the whole time, right? The mom ended up getting free trips to Disney World, a free house from Habitat for Humanity, all this stuff.
That's dope. That kind of evens it out.
Well, it was all a lie, is the thing. She wasn't sick.
Yeah, wow.
Right, Gypsy Rose. She
That
was
does
not.
Yeah,
She wasn't.
You have to have a couple more rides to Disneyland.
Right. So what happened was Gypsy Rose wanted to date. She wanted to live a life, but she wasn't allowed to leave the house ever. So she started dating online. She met a boyfriend. She talked to this boyfriend about what was going on in her house, kind of smartened up to the fact that she wasn't sick, smartened up to the fact that the medicines were keeping her sick, not curing her. Long story short, convinced the boyfriend that it was the right idea to murder her mom. Yep, go ahead and murder the mom, and then they would get out of Dodge. They did not get out of Dodge. They both went to jail. Gypsy did her 8 years, and she's out now. The boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, is serving a life sentence. So
yeah, I think that's kind of messed up. I'm guessing he's doing the life because he was the one who actually did the murder.
He did the physical murdering.
Physical. And how old were they?
I mean, they were of adult age.
Adults? And how the hell did she just get 8 years?
She planned it. She wasn't there.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think
I think that people,
I think that they were sympathetic to her because of the abuse that took place.
Sure, yeah, but
Right.
it's not, it's not something that you could add or subtract with. It's murder is murder.
Well, I mean, there's when sentencing. First of all, she didn't murder; she helped plan a murder. And second of all, when you're
orchestrated it, not helped planned.
She did orchestrate it.
Yeah, it's not like you gave some tips and pointers.
No, that's all right. That's fair. That's fair. She did the planning. Yeah, she was the CEO of the group.
Right.
But when sentencing goes down, there's a huge amount of leniency that can take place. We see this with the Murdaugh. Remember the guy earlier this week that decided he needed to leap over the judge's bench and jump the
Yes.
judge? He thought the sentencing was a little bit too severe. So, I mean, it is a little messed up that the boyfriend killed the mom because he would do anything for Gypsy. And once they got to jail, Gypsy was like, I think we're finished. And a gentleman started writing her while she was in jail, and she married him.
Yeah, I saw that. It's messed up.
Except the dude who married her has a Bret the Hitman Hart license plate. So
yeah,
I'm kind of
dope.
I find myself on that guy's side.
This is a roller coaster right now.
It's a little bit of a roller coaster. Yeah, she was describing, because she's been on every television show, which, I mean, her story's not done. She goes her whole life with Munchausen syndrome by proxy. The minute she isn't portraying a sick person anymore, and when I say portraying, I don't mean she actively knows she's not sick. I mean, she believed she was sick. But the minute she's out of that cycle of abuse, she goes to jail. This is the first time she's ever lived as a normal free person, and she's immediately famous because of the doc and because of the Hulu series, and is now, immediately after going to jail, going on all the TV shows, GMA, The View, local news, Extra. She's doing everything, and just having strangers talk to her on camera about her trauma. This is not a healthy existence.
No, and I'm still kind of a little bit weirded out. Obviously, the mom was evil and disgusting and all that, but I am weirded out with the fact that she's just on GMA and like the host is just like.
I mean, dude, you know what's so funny? She goes on The View. People are totally forgetting. On The View, she was on with Joy Behar, and she goes, yeah, you know, I mean, I do still miss my mom, and what my mom did was really, really wrong, but I handled it wrong. And Joy, just out of instinct, goes, "Oh, don't say that."
It's insane.
And the rest of the View ladies are like, "What are you, Joy? Like, it was a murder." And Joy was like, "Oh, yeah, never mind. Oh yeah, you're talking about the murder. Yeah, never mind.
Like, as tragic as it was, and she's obviously a victim, she still killed her mom.
Orchestrated.
Okay, orchestrated. But like, and then to go on these shows and have them just like talking with a soft voice and tell us, how do you think your life is going to be now that you are free?
Well, she's excited about it. She's excited about it.
Yeah, and like a Rosie kind of thing. It's
Gypsy
really
Rosie.
Strange to me.
Gypsy Rosie. She's promoting her doc series is on Lifetime. They were interviewing her while she was in prison, so it's already coming out today. I don't know where Lifetime streams. I don't know if you could get it, but that's coming out today. She has said she wants to work on prison reform because she feels like she did a lot of time. So she wants to work on, she wants to work on prison reform, but you know who she wants to work with on it?
Who?
Kim Kardashian.
That's a good pick. It's a good pick.
And she also, there was somebody's art that helped her get through a lot of tough times in jail. So she wants to work with Kim Kardashian, and she wants to meet Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I think this girl's like broken. Like, not in like.
I wonder why. Boy, hot dog, what are you, a therapist?
Hold on,
Did you go to school for that level of expertise?
No, hold on.
You mean a literal lifetime of trauma might leave, and then 8 years of jail? I think she might be broken. Huh? I didn't even think of that.
Well, I'm saying beyond repair. Like, she's gonna probably do some crazy shit. I mean, and it's not necessarily her fault. I mean,
she's got a support system. She's got her husband.
Her husband's a fucking psycho too. You're gonna marry someone that's in jail for this.
This is her husband. He's a good guy. See, and what's interesting about her husband, and I didn't realize this, is her husband loves this pose. Like, you go through this guy's Instagram because they're big on social media. Gypsy Rose, I follow Gypsy Rose, by the way, on social media. I think Gypsy Rose is the shit. I love that she's like decided to get out of jail and get out of this terrible life and just be a famous person. I think that's great. I think she deserves, her life stunk for the whole first part of it. Then she had to do 8 years in prison. I love the fact that she's just decided to live as a celebrity. I think she should live as a celebrity. I love that she's marrying this Mizark, you know, just like us. Bunch of wrestling fans. I seen a picture on her.
He's probably a fan of the podcast.
Bro, I saw a picture on her Instagram. They had like Rob Schamberger, WWE watercolors on the floor in frames. I was like, this guy rules.
Nice.
And I hope he does listen. I hope he listens to all of it. I would love to have Gypsy Rose in the basement.
Well, you can get him at least for sure.
I'll talk to him. I'll be like, well, you know, what'd you see? Was it, you know?
Hey man, put her on FaceTime. See if she picks up.
Wait till you see this. They're a good couple because this comment was left on his Instagram. It's from the real Gypsy Rose. And she just writes to her husband, which is always interesting, right? When people write to
public,
their... Yeah, you could just tell him. You're in the same room.
You're right next to each other.
Yeah, you're right there. She writes, Ryan, don't listen to the haters, which I hope there aren't people hating on this guy. You shouldn't hate on Gypsy Rose either. She's a celebrity. Gypsy Rose should be our new American royalty. She should be our new Kim Kardashian. She goes, Ryan, don't listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. We're a happy family. With a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? That's a little Barney the dinosaur.
Yeah, it's cute.
I love you and you love me. We do not owe anyone anything. That's right. Our family is who matters. And I think she's talking about the nuclear family, not the extended family, because we know what she did to her family.
Yeah,
they're gone.
You won't see them no more.
No. They're not here. It's the family that's left. That's what matters. She goes, if you get likes and good comments, great. It is great. I love getting likes and good comments.
Toxic as fuck.
No, it isn't. Because I mean, I was putting all those comments up of all those clips up of Edge from our interview. You know when people are like, man, that footage. Whoever's shooting that footage of Edge coming into your house, Sam. Man, that footage is great. You love the likes. You love the good comments. Oh yeah.
Every comment you see of that, there's already a like on it.
That's right. And she's not salivating. You know why? Can't. No glands. They took the glands out.
Right.
She goes, if you get likes and good comments, great. If you get hate, then whatever, because they don't matter. I love you. Besides, they jealous because you are rocking my world every night.
Oh.
Wait till you hear this one, hot dog. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire.
Oh.
Happy wife, happy life. That is my dude right there. You know why?
Wang and D.
The D is fire. You wish your D was as fire as him. He is slanging.
Like a horse.
The D is fire. And it might not be like, it's not the size of the boat. It's the motion of the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
That's the man that your girl tells you not to worry about.
Don't worry about him. And he's just sitting there, he loves you leaving that headroom. He loves that room, right? He loves this corner. This is his corner right there. Because he's just chilling in the corner, right? Yeah, like this. And people are like, yeah, what a dork. And he goes, yeah, maybe I'm a dork. That D is fire, though. Ask your girl.
Every time he takes a photo, he's just like, yeah, I'm about to hit him with another one.
Yeah.
Does the pose. They won't see this one coming.
Yeah. They told me not to do this pose again. So I made sure I did this pose again. Man, why is that guy so confident? Because the D is fire. Yeah, dude. Trust me. If you had Gypsy Rose running around making sure the internet knew that the D was fire, you kidding me, hot dog? I'd never hear the end of it. I'd be
She's
like,
got 2 Ds.
These nuts.
Got me.
Bro, I'd be like, hot dog, why don't you do a better job on these clips? And you go, yeah, but the D is fire, though. I go, okay, all right.
Someone's massaging me, and they were like, don't worry, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. If Sam says some good stuff, that's great.
Right.
If he's saying bad stuff, it doesn't matter.
You know why? Because you're hitting it right every night. The D is fire.
And you can tell him that.
Right.
Put him on FaceTime.
I gotta ask my wife to start leaving those comments on my Instagram.
You should. That would be great.
People, can you do it for me?
I'll do it.
I appreciate that. I need somebody doing it for me.
Sam is swinging that D.
Yeah. The D is fire, though.
Good source.
And she put. I forgot how many of these corner poses there were. And there's a fire emoji. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire with the fire emoji. What you know about Gypsy Rose? The D is fire.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble believing it, but
you don't think the D is fire? Look at that man. Look at my guy. That face tells you the D is fire. You see that smirk? He knows what's up. He already knows. He knows what it is.
He don't gotta say it. He'll let the girls say it.
Exactly. They go like, yeah, you could probably tone up a little bit. He goes, yeah, but the D is fire. And they're like, all right, don't even worry about it then. Don't say a thing. It's a big doc weekend is all I'm saying.
Yeah, someone in the comments said you love documentaries about kids being abused.
I like fascinating stories.
Okay.
I love a fascinating story, and I love a great cast of characters. On one end, everybody associated with the Natalia Grace story is incredible. On this end, what happened to Gypsy Rose? Well, she went to jail, then she got out and became a celebrity and found some dude that the D is fire.
Now she's teaming with Kim.
You mean to tell me that chick right there thinks your D is fire, hot dog?
That's right.
I see her get up with the... She knows. She knows. I saw her get up with that bed head. That really was like a music video or something where, oh, you know what that was? That was you on FaceTime with your wife. Who is that? Who was that? Nah, no one.
Oh, don't worry about it, babe.
No, that's just my roommate's friend.
It's keeping your bed.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, so look. It's all good times. I mean, look, I got to occupy my time with something. We don't have time to get into it. But I could have, I would have sworn that in terms, after I did my interview with Edge on my wrestling podcast, and he was in the Notsam studio, I said the first week of 2024 in terms of podcast interviews, that's mine. That's mine. Nobody's touching it.
Yeah.
And then Club Shay Shay said, hold my beer.
On the same night. On the same day.
On the same day. On the same day that I'm like, Edge, tell me about TLC. We got Club Shay Shay giving us this.
$1 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You gotta tell him no.
I mean, can you imagine?
So many gems.
Dude, it was tough for me to sit on my interview with Edge and not just put it out for everybody to see. Can you imagine if you knew this was in the chamber? Oh,
no, literally, if we got the heads up, like, hey, it's a Katt Williams shoot interview. Because this is a shoot interview.
It's a shoot interview. I mean, it's RF video. I mean, because it's not even the questions. I mean,
no.
Shannon
it's all about the answers.
Shannon Sharpe is like, he goes, did you ever get booed? And he goes, yeah, I've been booed, but more people should get booed. Then we wouldn't have to deal with Michael Blackson so much. And you're like, why are you bringing him up? Why? Nobody even asked you about him. I mean,
Chris Tucker.
Oh, Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker. There is something so piercing about him going, you know, Michael Jackson called him Christmas. And when he just leans into Shannon, this is why Katt Williams is just one of the greats. Just the way he knows his command of the English language. All he has to say is, you ever let a man give you a little nickname like that?
Like, no, I haven't.
No, Shannon's like, no. Christmas. He called him Christmas.
My favorite line is when because Shannon is also playing his role. He's being like the straight, like, he's like, oh, how can you say that?
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, that'd be ridiculous.
Come on.
And Katt is like, it's very unlike you to have an allegiance to losers. I was like, oh, save that one.
Yeah, that's forever. There's 2 things that are forever. It's very unlike you to have an allegiance to losers, and his special is so bad, it's not on Netflix or Tubi. He did 4 comedy specials, and you can't find them on Netflix or Tubi. I'll repeat that for your listeners. He's not on Netflix or Tubi. You saying Cedric the Entertainer's not a good comedian? The world said it. It's not on Netflix or Tubi.
He was on this couch saying like a walrus.
Yeah, with his hands. He couldn't get him off his stomach. I mean, it really is. I mean, going forward, I'll be asking people, how come their shit's not on Netflix or Tubi if it's so good? And I mean, how about I think this might be the Steve Harvey part.
Everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit.
It's not even like
nothing to do with the criticism he had towards him. He got to throw that on the side.
Right. Number 1, he didn't ask. Shannon never asked him about Steve Harvey. And number 2, his criticisms about Steve Harvey were that he stole from Mark Curry and that he disrespected Bernie Mac. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to mention the wig.
No.
It was a man unit.
That's why.
I've never heard that described that way before. A man unit?
No, I had to look that up.
I mean, now it's all I'll ever use. That dentist in The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, he's wearing a man unit.
That's what they called your hair before you got it shaved.
That's right. I got to write that down. Hang on. Man unit. Look at that hair. It's a man unit.
You what's crazy about this is like, have you watched the entire 3 hours yet?
I have not watched I've been clip heavy, but I've not watched the entire 3 hours.
That's what it's crazy about it. Like every 6 hours, someone will clip out another nugget that was like kind of left out, and then there'll be another wave of stuff. It's so good.
Yeah.
This is one of those. This is like a point. Like you have to like put the kids to sleep.
Spend your weekend with it, really. Like it might be a good time. I might have to tell my family I need to go on like a road trip by myself just to clear my head and just spend the whole time in Club Shay Shay.
I mean, this should be on like Regal Cinema.
Yeah, they really should have. So, I mean, if you knew it was going to be this good, you could have made it a Fathom event.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, Fathom Events presents Katt Williams in Club Shay Shay.
Then you asked it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, baby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none.
If that was the preview, everybody's buying a ticket.
Just that, no voiceover. Here's the clip, and here's where you can get tickets.
And you don't even have to say who he's talking about.
Yes, exactly.
And then you go, but people would figure it out. I think he's talking about Steve Harvey.
I don't know. I mean, I think I've forgotten how good he is with like he has like you said, he has a way of words. Like
it's his use.
30,000 movies made a year.
Not one of them. Can you imagine? It's not even that they didn't get made. It's that of all the scripts, 30,000 scripts, most of them don't get produced.
Right.
But none of them, of the entire 30,000, requested the presence of Steve Harvey. And it was because of what he's lacking. like that's tough. That's tough.
Then he went after Kevin Hart.
I don't know that I've seen the Kevin Hart stuff.
I know. See, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Every 6 hours or so, another clip.
And see, that's always interesting to me because remember, Kevin Hart went after Katt that time because Katt went after Tiffany Haddish a while back, like years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Kevin Hart came to Tiffany Haddish's defense. I really think that Katt Williams is one of those guys. Like, if I get annoyed at somebody and you asked me like a week later, I'll forget that I was ever annoyed. Like, if somebody wrongs me, I have a very short list of people that have seriously wronged me that I will never forget. And you know who's on that list.
Oh, yeah.
Because I tell you I hate them.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I would never even remember. I've had conversations where people are like, yeah, you said you didn't like him. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, because of this. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It hasn't been in the moment, I guess.
I think Katt Williams is the exact opposite. I think Katt Williams is like Steve Buscemi in Billy Madison, where he's got his list of everyone that's wronged him. And he decided that Club Shay Shay was the spot. And as he said, 2024 was going to be a year of truth. He said he was going to make Shannon Sharpe into the new Oprah because people were going to realize that this is now a place for truth.
This is the place to go. This is the interview spot.
I mean, he changed. Yeah. I mean, look, he was already doing great. Like,
yeah,
his podcast was already awesome. And it was already like, yeah, I mean, if I ever saw a clip from this podcast, from Club Shay Shay, I go like, yeah, well, I'll check that out. But now,
appointment viewing.
You have to. It's become one of those podcasts where because of this, you better bring your A game if you're going on Club Shay Shay. Don't strike out.
Now, who do you think would be? Because now that Katt was gone for a long while, so now people are looking back at his comedy and where he ranks, and and the list of top comedians and all that stuff. I'm not even gonna ask that, but I'm wondering if you didn't want to be in anyone's shit list, would you pick someone? Would you rather be on or would you rather not get roasted by a Katt Williams or like a Dave Chappelle or something like that? Because there's like the way this guy talks, it's like incredible.
Yeah, but when Dave decides it's time, Dave has an incredible deconstructive way of just taking you down limb by limb. Like Dave won't hit you with a one-liner.
It'll be a monologue.
Dave will tell a story that you think is totally unrelated to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll bring the audience along that story. And he'll get, I mean, it's like the opening joke of his special. Like where you're on this story and you're like, yes, I'm 100% with you. And then boom, he hits you. And you're like, and then and it's like, you can't fight it. You can't disagree with him because you were. Because
I was saying yes. I was nodding along the entire time.
And that's why Dave is dangerous. Dave is the cerebral assassin, right?
Yeah.
Katt Williams is Vader. Katt Williams is just coming on, just unnecessarily stiff, and it's just gonna make it hurt right now badly. And Dave is the cerebral assassin, I think.
Yeah, I just love that Katt is back in like the spotlight.
Right. I do too. I think it's gonna get very interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna get very interesting, and it already is. I mean, look at all these characters, and we forgot. We got smoke aliens in Miami. It's a wild time. It's the greatest of times. And I'm glad that you're all here with us. If you want to participate in tonight's show, every Super Chat gets read on Sam Roberts Now. Go ahead and Super Chat in now. We're going to go through them. Don't forget to subscribe to the Satisfying Pod YouTube channel where Nicole Biggins and I meet once a week. Nicole ruined Christmas for her daughter. There was a secret exposed that is never supposed to be exposed on Christmas.
Santa. Yeah. That seems like what would happen in that household.
It's inevitable. And we also talk about Gypsy Rose. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I also got furious with her because I mentioned Roman Reigns and she said, "Who's that?"
Come on, man.
Furious. That she didn't.
Are you still gonna take her? We talked about, or you guys talked about taking her to a wrestling show.
I gotta take her to a wrestling show. I think I gotta force her into a movie theater to see the Von Erichs movie too.
Oh yes.
But yes. So subscribe youtube.com/@satisfyingpod. And if you're into wrestling, youtube.com/NotSamWrestling. You can also see us live in Tampa on Friday, the 26th of January. Motions are in place for picking up a pretty nice guest list, I hope. If everything goes according to plan.
I already said yes, so you're welcome.
You're there in a staff capacity. You can go to notsamlive.com for tickets. That's Friday, January 26th at 5 p.m. Tampa, Florida, Side Splitters. Poodlerific chimes in. Happy New Year, Sam and Hot Dog. Hot Dog's New Year's resolution is to meet the future Hot Dog. Can Montone and Coop coach you, please? Sarging for Lazy Eyewitness News special report. You want
Coach? Why would I get? No, those are two single guys as well. They're struggling.
You think they're struggling? You think Montone's struggling like you're struggling?
No, he's not.
Six Crow. I hope you make it to Toronto. Hot Dog. Did you see WWE had that lineup? They said Friday, SmackDown. Saturday, Money in the Bank. Sunday, NXT. First thing I said is, what about Thursday, though?
Am I booked?
What about Thursday? We'll see. We'll see what Toronto's got to offer. Monkey U, why is Hot Dog dressed like my 60-year-old aunt when she was battling cancer? Literally from the hat to the glasses and the hoodie.
Yeah, no, I'm just like a burglar. It's bad hair day, so cover up.
Not great. You should get that restoration. You know what you need? A man unit.
It would look exactly like this too.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it was a man unit. Inward C-word. Am I alone wanting Gypsy Rose on Love After Lockup? I would love to see it. I want more Gypsy Rose content. I think she's great. I think she's awesome. Wiedenhoff, for Hot Dog's HBO appearance, even though he supports Hamas, please lose weight this year, and that's 5 to you.
I've lost weight, and you will be hearing from my lawyer.
There you go. Hit him with that Jimmy.
That's right.
Good for you. B Herb, F Mary Kill, Natalia Grace, the girl from Orphan, or Gary Coleman.
Sounds like it's for you.
Well, I think I gotta kill Gary Coleman. And has nothing to do with anything besides the fact that he was always in a bad mood. You know, every time you saw an interview with that guy, he was just not a happy dude.
What are you so mad about?
I know. I love Different Strokes. That show rules. And to not be able to enjoy Different Strokes it's just, yeah. So he's gone. And then,
I mean,
I'll probably marry the orphan girl because she's a legit adult, even though she's a murderer. And then I probably F Natalia Grace because I don't want to spend a lifetime with her because there is just so much drama attached. There's a lot of dramatic people in her orbit. Although if I marry Natalia Grace, then Michael becomes my like stepfather-in-law.
I mean, the girl's had a rough time already. Let's give her a break.
Marry her?
Don't marry her, I'm saying. We don't.
That's not nice. Adam Poole, can you discuss the classic Not Another Teen Movie? Yes, I can. I grew up in a time when parody movies started catching fire again. Scary Movie, fantastic. Not Another Teen Movie, which is the first vehicle for Captain America. What's his name? What's that actor's name?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans' first vehicle is Not Another Teen Movie. And it is fantastic. The late 90s, you saw the resurgence of the teen rom-com tropes, right? Where She's All That and the wave of movies that She's All That brought in. And Not Another Teen Movie was able to successfully parody all of them. It was awesome. I watched that entire movie. I went to the theater to watch that movie, and I watched the whole thing like Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just pointing to every reference that I understood. And ironically, I understood that reference. Who does that?
Chris Evans, right?
That's right. And who's making the references in Not Another Teen Movie?
Chris Evans.
Boom. Let's see. Between Gypsy Rose and Natalia Grace, 2024 could be the year of age dysphoria. That's true. And maybe we'll get people who identify as a certain age, and I'm fine with that. I'm here for it. Chris 914, happy birthday to Nick Kerr. I
got him.
Monkey U. We don't know how normal Natalia will turn out after all this. But just imagine what horrors Jim went through and repressed to turn out the way he did. Wait, isn't it Nikki now? She's very brave. Yes, we discussed on Jim and Sam that some of the AI articles, instead of sourcing Jim as being married to Nikki, sourced Jim as transitioning to Nikki. Which they weren't the best researched articles. PHWOFL, hey, not Sam. The best thing I heard all week was the AI articles that reported that Jim had transitioned into Nikki Norton. Yeah, me too. Let's see. Back to Monkey U. There was already a good doc on Gypsy Rose called Mommy, Dead, and Dearest on HBO. Do you think her crazy makes her good in bed, as Troy would say? I don't know. You'd have to ask Troy that question. But this is the sequel doc to that. So now it's, what's happened since then. Bono Zombies. My English grandmother watched Hanging with Mr. Cooper every day. When they started airing reruns during daytime, I loved watching it with her. So good. I watched it all the time. That's all I thought about when we had an intern named Coop. I was like, Cooper. But I didn't really make reference to it that much because I figured he was like...
done that to him and he wouldn't get it. And then...
Yo, Coop, you're on. Like, he would be like, what are you talking about? Ben Graz writes in, thanks for a fun show, guys. See you next week. P.S. Hot dog, who's the bedhead babe?
Intern Annie used to intern for Jim and Sam a couple years ago.
Oh, you bet she did. Now
we're married.
Right. Now she interns for this D because it's fire.
That's right. It's my D fire. She said, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't hear her. Suspect Phil, congrats, Sam and Hot Dog, on being in that Max doc. Thank you very much, Suspect Phil.
Ready for my royalties.
We're very lit right now. Very lit. Yeah, no, I really, I got you. Who's that big fat manager of the Backstreet Boys? You know what I'm talking about. That big fat guy. They did a documentary about how he screwed them all out of money, and he managed NSYNC too.
Lou Pearlman.
Yeah. I Lou Pearlman you out of any money you'd see from that Mac stock. And then Chris 914 writes in, Letterman Sammy, sorry, had to try F hot dog. Well, you won that one. What can I tell you? You won.
Fuck me, fuck you.
Suspect Phil says, why buy one when you can buy two at twice the price? And that is officially Suspect Phil's 20th super chat. I got a notification. Congratulations. All of you can get that round of applause after 20 super chats. We appreciate you. You got 5 styluses, so you might as well use them. I'll cheers with you later. Have a good one.